Welcome back. This is Like-Minded Leadership, and I am that leadership guy. And today's video is going to be part 2 of the chess method. Last time in part 1, we talked about, where we see a lot of the different levels of organizations and their leaders kind of, playing in some spaces where they're not really super effective. So I wanted to talk today in this video a little bit about, how do we lead correctly in the upward trend and taking some of those different levels up and making some things be effective there. So we're just going to dive right into that. All right. So as we talked about last time, looking at different chess piece moves as we play this game, this business game of chess, we have, again, our operational level where we're one chess piece at a time, really moving the organization forward in the operational. We've got our mid-level managers or our, looking at our second and third move. And then we've got our high-level managers, our high-level leaders looking at our fourth and fifth move from a strategic and goals. So mid-level, ops, and strategic planning and goals, right? Okay, so what we want to do as great leaders in this roles and in this role is make sure that we have created a leadership environment that when we do our check-ins, like we discussed, and we go back up here, that we're creating some type of awareness or method for these folks in these operators down here are able to come up and spend a little time at these levels. That is the only way that they're going to be able to learn and gain that experience. Now, they can't spend a lot of time up in this space because they still need to be able to do their operational jobs, but weighing in on projects, weighing in on plans, weighing in on all kinds of different stuff, and even just gaining some of that experience. And the same happens with this group up here as well. We need to make sure that we're giving that opportunity for this group to spend a little time up here and then come back down and do whatever, what the mid-level managers are doing. So I really thought that it was important to outline that it is, it's a flow, and this chess method, there's no perfect blueprint to any organization. And there's going to be times where the methodology that you're working with isn't working anymore and you need to change it up. And that's why these different levels are so gosh darn important to make sure that they're set up correctly. Because if something's not working, we want to make sure that we have these pieces in place so that the operations can continue on and the mid-level teams can come up and join the strategic level teams. And together, these teams can go, okay, what's not working for our organization? And then this group up here can make whatever the fourth and fifth move changes that are required to be made. Again, so I like I said, I wanted to make that part 2 to kind of outline, a little bit more of that. And a lot of times we see people going, you know what, I understand all these concepts, and I think my leaders in my organization understand my concept as well, but they're not, we have these great meetings and we talk about concepts just like this, but then when we go back into our organization, it's like that meeting never happened. And I really wanted to give some content to why sometimes that feels like that's happening. So as we talked about in part 1, we talked about sometimes these small businesses that are, 10, 15, 20, 25 employees. Now what happened, now that they've grown. So over a 10-year period, you took your 10,000 customers and you turned it into 50,000. Okay, great, fantastic. Now you have 3 times the employees and you've got this level up here. You've got that matrix that we've been talking about. And these folks are saying, you know what, man, we feel really micromanaged by these groups. And we have these great structural meetings and we talk about the need for these different layers and we talk about the need for the ups and downs and the check marks. We talk about all that stuff. And then it all goes away as soon as the meeting's over. And I had the opportunity to sit down with the CEO of a company that went from a rather small organization and really boomed over a 25 year period. And I said, I explained this exact scenario and I said, why do you think that is? And he gave me some great insight. Is that these folks right here that are at the fourth and fifth, our C-suite and our senior leader folks, often they've done these different levels. And they've often done those different levels while the organization grew. So their learned behavior is, you know what, I had to be here and I had to be here to get us to that 50,000 customer goal. And so my takeaway from this video is, first, I hope that if you're at this level, that you're remembering the reason why you hired these folks, and try to come up out of here and back into here and back into that check mark mode. And my second ask is that if you're at this level and you're feeling this downward pressure, try to remember that these folks, especially if they've been in the organization for a while, were in these positions and really helped to contribute to make this organization what it is. So it might take some really forward thinking and some really leading up conversations to get these groups comfortable in letting go of some of those reins and saying, okay, you know what? Yes, the 2s and 3s, you've got it. You can check mark manage these folks. These folks are going to operational. We're going to continue to grow them into this level. And then these folks can not only work on strategic plans and goals, but can also work about training and leading these people to go to that level. And that creates a great succession plan forward. So anyway, I know this was a little bit of a shorter part 2. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If you have any feedback, put them down in the comments as well. I think I am going to make a part 3 because I have some other stuff around, the chess piece methodology that I've been thinking about for a while. So definitely stay tuned. If you like what you're hearing, then definitely, again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more content.